There is a specific kind of person who opens a new browser tab, types the first letter of the website they need for work, and then watches their own hand type YouTube instead. They didn't plan to do that. They didn't even decide to. It just happened. And then they spend the next 4 hours half working, half watching, fully guilty, doing a worse job on both things, exhausted by the effort of avoiding the effort. You know this person. You might be this person. So what is actually going on? Why does the brain do this? Why do we choose the thing we don't want to choose every single time? The answer is not what you think. And once you hear it, you'll never see procrastination the same way again. Let's start with the explanation you've probably already tried. At some point, someone told you that procrastination is a time management problem. You just need the right system. A better calendar, a cleaner to-do list, a productivity method with a name like getting things done, or eat the frog, or something involving a timer and a tomato. And maybe you tried some of it. Maybe you bought the planner, set the alarms, made the schedule, color-coded the week, woke up earlier, wrote out your 3 most important priorities every morning, and then you sat down to work and opened Reddit. Here's the problem with the time management explanation. If it were true, it would be easy to fix. You would learn the system once, use it, and be done. Procrastination would go away like a bad cold. But for most people, it doesn't go away. It just moves. You get more organized and still avoid the thing. You get more disciplined in some areas and find yourself paralyzed in others. The system works until it doesn't. And then you're back in the same chair, same guilt, same YouTube. And if you look around, you'll notice something strange. The procrastination problem doesn't actually belong to unorganized people. Surgeons procrastinate on paperwork. Scientists procrastinate on finishing research. Writers, people whose entire job is to write, procrastinate on writing. CEOs of major companies procrastinate on difficult conversations they've been putting off for months. These are not people who need a better to-do list. So if the problem isn't organization, what is it? Here's the real answer. Procrastination has nothing to do with time. It has everything to do with how you feel. Picture your brain as 2 characters sharing one office. The first character is the planner. He sits at a big desk, thinks long-term, runs calculations. He knows that finishing the project today means less stress tomorrow. He is calm, rational, responsible. A little dull, maybe. But he always makes the right call. The second character is the guard dog. He doesn't have a desk. He doesn't think long-term. He has one job: protect you from things that feel bad right now. Danger? He barks. Discomfort? He barks. Anything that makes you feel uneasy, uncertain, or exposed? He barks. The guard dog is faster than the planner, much faster. And when there's a conflict, the guard dog doesn't wait for a meeting. He just acts. Now, what happens when you sit down to do a task you've been avoiding? The planner says, open the document, start writing. This will feel great when it's done. The guard dog feels something. Maybe it's the low hum of anxiety about whether the work will be good enough. Maybe it's the dull weight of boredom. Maybe it's the quiet fear of putting in real effort and still failing. Whatever it is, it feels bad. And the guard dog does what he always does. He finds an exit. This is the core finding from decades of procrastination research, and it was most clearly articulated by Dr. Timothy Peichel at Carleton University. Procrastination is not a time management problem. It is an emotion regulation problem. We don't avoid tasks. We avoid the feelings attached to tasks. And here's why it's so hard to stop. When you close the Work tab and open something easier, you feel better. Immediately. The anxiety drops. The discomfort goes away. Your brain notices this, files it away, and the next time the same feelings show up, it already knows the solution. Avoid. Escape. Feel better. Repeat. You have accidentally trained yourself to procrastinate. Every single time you escaped the discomfort, the habit got a little stronger. There's a second piece to this, And it's even more uncomfortable. Your brain is very bad at caring about your future self. Researchers have actually scanned people's brains while they think about their future selves. And here's what they found. The brain doesn't process future you the way it processes current you. It processes future you more like a stranger. A person you've never met. Someone you feel vaguely responsible for, but not urgently. This is called present bias. The discomfort of doing the task right now feels enormous and real. The relief your future self will feel when the thing is done feels distant and abstract. So your brain does the math and picks the option that helps the person it cares about most. Which is you, right now, today. Your future self, the one who will be up until 2 a.m. the night before the deadline, is basically a stranger your present self is happy to inconvenience. One more thing, and this one might sting a little. The tasks we procrastinate on the most are usually the ones that matter to us the most. Not the boring admin tasks we just forget about. The things we deeply care about. The creative project. The career move. The thing we've wanted to do for years. We procrastinate on those the most. Because the stakes feel the highest. Failing at something that doesn't matter is fine. Failing at something that really matters is terrifying. So we wait. We prepare. We think about it. We tell ourselves we'll start when we're ready. And we never start. The guard dog isn't protecting you from the task. He's protecting you from finding out that you tried and it wasn't good enough. Let's bring this out of the brain and into real life. Think about the last time you procrastinated on something. Not just put it off for an hour. Really avoided it. For days or weeks. What was the actual feeling underneath? For a lot of people, it's anxiety about quality. You sit down to write the email, the report, the first chapter, and before you've typed a single word, there's already a voice asking, is this going to be good enough? What if it's not? What if people read this and think less of you? So you don't write the word. You go make coffee instead. And the project that lives only in your head stays perfect. Because perfect things only exist when they're unfinished. For other people, the feeling is overwhelm. The task isn't scary. It's just massive. You look at it and see the entire mountain at once. Every step, every possible problem, every hour it's going to take. And the brain, facing something too big to process, simply shuts down, gets a snack, reorganizes the desktop. Anything that feels like a manageable size. For some people, it's resentment. The task was assigned to them, not chosen. It feels meaningless, or unfair, or like someone else's priority being forced onto their life. Avoiding it isn't laziness. It's a quiet, irrational protest. I didn't choose this, so my brain is not going to cooperate. And then there's the type that's hardest to notice from the inside. This person doesn't procrastinate by watching TV. They procrastinate by starting something new. Another idea, another plan, another exciting project in its early, perfect, unruined phase. They're always busy, always working on something, just never quite finishing the thing that actually matters. The escape here isn't YouTube, it's the next dream. All of these look the same from the outside. Someone who isn't getting things done. But the emotion driving each one is completely different. And that's why the same fix doesn't work for everyone. Because you can't solve a feeling problem with a scheduling solution. Okay. So if procrastination is an emotional response, how do you actually change it? You don't fight the feeling. You work with the system. The first thing is the most important. Stop waiting to feel ready. Motivation is not a starting condition. It's a result. You don't feel like doing the thing, and then start. You start, and then, usually within a few minutes, the resistance drops and the feeling comes. The brain produces motivation in response to action, not the other way around. So make the start absurdly small. Don't open the project. Just open the document. Don't write the chapter. Just write the first sentence, even a bad one. The goal is not output. The goal is to get past the guard dog, who is guarding the entrance, not the whole journey. Second thing, name the feeling out loud. This sounds too simple to be real, but it's backed by solid neuroscience. When you say, "I'm avoiding this because I'm scared it won't be good enough," out loud, or even just clearly in your head, something shifts. Naming an emotion activates the rational part of the brain and reduces the emotional charge. The fear doesn't disappear, but it gets smaller. And a smaller fear is a defeatable fear. Third, make your future self feel real. Before you push a task to tomorrow, actually think about that version of you. What are they walking into? What did you just hand them? It sounds a little strange, but people who consciously practice this make different decisions, because the stranger starts to feel like a person. And last, when you catch yourself escaping, don't punish yourself. Seriously, guilt and self-criticism after procrastinating makes the next avoidance more likely, not less. The brain under attack retreats further. Notice what happened, name the feeling that drove it, and try again. None of this requires you to become a different person. It just requires you to understand the person you already are. Here's the thing that hit us hardest when we were putting this together. The ancient Greeks had a word for this: akrasia. It means acting against your own better judgment, choosing the worse option even when you clearly know the better one. Aristotle wrote about it. Socrates debated it. This has been a human problem for at least 2,500 years. You are not broken. You are not weak. You have an ancient brain living in a world it was not built for. And that brain is doing exactly what brains do. If you found this interesting, subscribe. We cover a new topic every video. Why humans do the things they do. There's a lot more where this came from.